The United States of America was the greatest country before Trump, and it's the greatest country now after Trump. The white supremacists want to go back. They want to go back to the days when it was legal to own slaves.
You are about to be entertained by the young man who has become a legend of his own time. You must answer. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
What's up, everybody? Yours truly, the arbiter of truth. Yours truly, Ron Kelly, the Ron Kelly Show. And sometimes I can't even handle the truth. But anyway. And welcome, everybody. So good evening, everyone. Greetings and salutations. Welcome to another fantastic, informative, thought-provoking edition of the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program, live on YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and of course on blogtalkradio.com, the RonKellyShow.com. It's a pleasure to have you in on a Thursday. It's September 15th already, 2022. Wow. And you still have, when you grew up in the 80s, 70s, 80s, it's still hard. I know for me, it's hard to say 2022. You think like, wow, that much time has passed since the day I was born. Interesting. Anyway, everybody, welcome on in. Thank you so much for joining me. Lots to talk about. And a special offer from one of my sponsors. I'll get to that later on. But thank you for stopping by for this edition of the Ron Kelly Talk Radio program. Oh, man. So the migrant war, and that show is going to end at 8 o'clock, by the way. The migrant war is heating up between the Republican border governors, Ron DeSantis in Florida, Greg Abbott in Texas. I just thought it was so funny. Anyway, the migrant war is heating up between Republican border governors and Democratic mayors of large cities in Democratic states that have the right to shelter law. And I'm going to get to that in a minute because I'm pissed off about this right to shelter law. And I'm going to get to that a little bit later on in the program. Matter of fact, right after this segment, I'll tell you what my thoughts are with the Biden border policy and what DeSantis and Greg Abbott from Texas are doing. But right now, Governor Ron DeSantis sent 2 plane loads. And see, I got to side with the Republicans on this one. I'm sorry. I know, I'm a liberal, progressive rather, but I'm afraid I have to side with the Republican governors on this one, and I'll tell you why. Because this is getting ridiculous. And so, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis sent 2 plane loads of migrants to Martha's Vineyard. And Martha's Vineyard, the howdy, affluent summer colony that the Kennedys practically own, and the scene of the infamous Chappaquiddick incident with Governor Ted Kennedy and that poor girl who drowned. Yeah. So now, if it wasn't bad enough, Texas Governor Greg Abbott directed several loads of migrants to be dropped off near the vice presidential mansion, which I thought was funny. That because you put it right on your doorstep, and I'm afraid once again that I have to side with the Republicans on this one. I got to side with the Republicans on this one because, do the thousands or hundreds of thousands of evictees or people who are about to be evicted deserve to be sheltered? Do they deserve to be sheltered? Do they? Because, everybody caught a break that you didn't have to pay your rent. But what was supposed to happen after that? What was supposed to happen for New Jersey, for example, where I live? What was supposed to happen after the moratorium ran out? What was supposed to happen? Now, people got a break. The moratorium ended in New Jersey anyway on January, in most places, I suppose, on January 1st. Of 2022. So what are all those people supposed to do? Don't they have a right to be sheltered too? The folks that have lived here in America, have worked, have, have paid their taxes and contributed to the economy of this country. Now, so what's supposed to happen to them? You see, because I'm PO'd about that. I got a problem with this. Now, this isn't about race, okay? It's not about race. I have nothing against the Mexicans and the folks, and who God only knows whoever else is coming to this country. They get a bus ride to a hotel, and you know what's supposed to happen to the people who, the thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of people who are going to be kicked out of their places. Where are they going to go? I mean, can they go to the shelter or the hotel or whatever the case may be? Because, you know, when you get to these, they're spending money. And when the bus loads of migrants don't know who they are or where they came from, when they get here, they provided services, mental health services, put the kids in school, give them some money, put a roof over their head. Now, what's supposed to happen to the people who have lived here all their lives? Because a lot of people are living on borrowed time, actually. A lot of people are living on borrowed time. Oh, I forgot to put my headset on. People are living, I hope y'all can hear me. People are living on borrowed time right now. Because as soon as the courts catch up, you know, if you haven't paid your rent, you're going to get that notice in the mail. You're going to get it. I mean, and yeah, they did help some people, but everybody should have received some help. Everybody. But everybody didn't get help. And when the moratorium runs out, many of these folks are going to get put out. Bunny McKnight says that, thank you, my brother. Bunny McKnight says, I didn't get a break and I still paid my rent. Good for you, my brother. You know, I didn't take a break either. I would, you know, because my job went straight through the pandemic because I don't have to be around anybody. I work alone for now. Hopefully I'll get a radio job real soon. But, and even with that, I'll be working alone. So yeah, I got a problem with this. I got a problem with this Biden migrant policy. Did people just come on in? Just come on? No, I hesitate to say this, but Trump's policy to me was better. Trump's policy was better. The Republican policy was better. Wait in Mexico until your turn comes up. Now we bring it up. And look, and I understand. You know, I get it that people are going through stuff and, you know, I mean, I get all of that. But if America, you know, there would be a bunch of Americas if God meant it to be that way. But there's only one America. I got nothing against Hispanics and stuff like that. But I'm against this open door policy. I'm just against it. You know? I'm against it. Lamont Gates says, thank God for them. They pick my fruits, bust my diner table. Oh, Jesus, Lamont Gates. Thank God for them. They pick my fruits, bust my diner tables, and make life for people like you and I much more convenient. Not many Americans are willing to work those jobs. That's true. That is true, but I still believe Lamont Gates. I'm not in agreement with this. I'm not in agreement with this open door, come on in, the right to shelter. Because again, what's going to happen to the people who couldn't pay their rent? What's going to happen to the people when the courts catch up? Because the courts will catch up eventually. And when the courts catch up, and I ain't talking about Heinz ketchup. I'm saying when the courts catch up, it's going to be a problem. And people are going to have to go to court. And many folks with children, just like the migrants do, are going to be put out on the street. It's already starting to happen. A couple of sheriff's deputies have already gotten killed because some people are like, oh, I'm not moving. And there are a couple of folks who defended their property, or the rental property anyway, it doesn't belong to them, but they defended it with gunfire. So, you're putting this money together. I mean, why isn't there a place where people who are about to be evicted can go? Because right now it's all computerized. You apply online, you don't get to talk to anybody in person. It's all computerized. And this is a very delicate situation for a lot of people. I know if I was about to get put out, I don't want to be talking to no computer. I want to be talking to a person and tell me what's going on, what my chances are, what my options are, what's available to me. I want to know. I don't want to be talking to some computer. But I got a problem with this. And I know I have some Hispanic listeners. America is not, the streets are not paved with gold here in the United States of America. They're not. They're not. Okay. There's a lot of dirt and broken glass on those streets. Yeah, you can do better here than anywhere else in the world. Yes, that's true. But the streets are not paved with gold. You see, because the United States of America borrows its budget. So when and shout out to Stephanie Freitas, I'll get back to you, Lamont Gates, Bunny McKnight. So America borrows its budget. So let's say, the Republicans and the Democrats fight and the president's involved and there's a 50-50 split, blah, 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 blah. Once they get to the end of that budget, let's say the budget is $3 or $4 trillion. The United States of America does not have $3 or $4 trillion, not in their pocket. But they got the biggest credit card in the world. And the United States of America has to borrow its operating budget from other people. So it's not so that's why they talk about the deficit being 30 trillion and 35 trillion, because that's money that the United States has borrowed over the years. Now, can you imagine what the interest rate would be on a loan for $30 trillion? It's got to be billions of dollars a day. So what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, is America doesn't have, you have to take care of yours first. You got to take care of yours first. You know what I'm saying? And I'm against people just being allowed to come into this country and being given the setup. I am against it, and I'll say it to anybody. I'm against it. I know I have some folks from Hispanic origins who listen to the Ron Kelly Show, but I'm telling you, I am against it. I think that people should. Shout out to Elaine Harris Askew, my sister. I'm against it. Now, I wasn't talking. Well, Elaine Harris Askew, I'll give you a quick update on the program in just a second. But so I have a problem with this right to shelter nonsense. New York State has it. And then they even sent, and then Greg Abbott sent people to Chicago. Now, the migrants, Elaine Harris Askew, I don't agree that migrants should be just allowed to waltz into the country, put them on a bus, send them somewhere. See, because now you got to take care of them. Now you have to. New York has right to shelter. Massachusetts has right to shelter. Illinois has right to shelter. California has right to shelter. So now what they're going to do is just bust them up and send them somewhere else. Now, New York Mayor Eric Adams is complaining about the busloads and the busload. Well, America can't always be, we can't be the world's police, and we can't be the world's dinner table. Let me take a quick break. Come right back. Thank you, Elaine Harris Askew, for stopping into the program. We're going to take a quick break and come right back. Stephanie Freitas, Lamont Gates. I will get to all of your comments in just a second. So we'll take a quick break and we'll come right back with more of this program. It's the Ron Kelly Show, everybody, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, the RonKellyShow.com, and it's live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. Yes, indeed, I am the man. What a news cycle this is. This guy has got to go. Trump has got to go. George Floyd snuffed out by this police officer who's supposed to be serving and protecting people.
It's the Ron Kelly Show.
It's gonna be hot tonight. Welcome back, everybody. It's gonna be hot tonight. You see, I got my jacket and shirt on. I'm looking quite dapper. Since nobody said anything, I'll pat my own self on the back. All right, everybody. It's 26 minutes past the hour of 7 p.m. It's 7 p.m. on the East Coast. It's 26 p.m. on the West Coast. This is the Ron Kelly Show, broadcasting live on blogtalkradio.com, and then it's Facebook Live, LinkedIn Live, YouTube Live, and Twitter Live. Elaine Harris Askew says, I'm looking sharp. Thank you so much, my darling. Thank you so much. Okay, before I move on to the next, because we're going to talk a little bit about the Queen. Like, what has the Queen done? What they're saying that the lines to see the Queen are up to 8 hours waiting in line to see the Queen. What has the Queen done to, I mean, not to kick the Queen's back in. Well, yeah, to kick the Queen's back in. What has she done? Well, I'll get to that in just a few minutes. Okay. Lamont Gates says the governor will be there for them as they always will. Yeah, but who's going to be there for the people who are going to get kicked out in a month or two? They're living on borrowed time. The people with children. Who's going to step up for them? The shelters will be too crowded. They won't even be able to get in because the migrants will be there. And yeah, it's the problem with the Democrats. You just want to take care of everybody. You can't always do that. And I side with the Democrats 99% of the time, but this time, no. I agree with Trump. And I almost threw up trying to say that. Stephanie Frater says, wait a minute, is your argument that America helps immigrants more than it helps people born in this country? That sounds like a very weak argument. Well, Stephanie Freitas, look at it this way. Nobody, the people who people were left hanging. I mean, yeah, you got a good break, and they gave you a couple bucks on the arm for the. They give you a couple bucks for the stimulus and all of that stuff. See, that stimulus money was meant for the economy. It wasn't meant for you. That's another thing we have to realize. The stimulus money wasn't meant for us. It was meant for the economy. Because nobody ever said save it. Nobody said save it. When they were doling out them trillions of dollars, they didn't say save it. They wanted you to go out and buy a big screen TV, buy a car, buy some furniture, go to Walmart and roll out of there with 3 or 4 cartloads. That's what they wanted you to do, to keep the economy going. That's what they wanted you to do. It wasn't about saving it. But no, I don't. I'm not saying that, and I never said that, Stephanie. You can go back to the replay of this program. I never said that America helps immigrants more than it helps people born in this country. I never said that. But let me get to this for a second. America in Porterfield for 42 years, since 1980. Wow, that's a long time. Older than me. Anyway, For 42 years, Amica and Porterfield has been providing safe, reliable transportation to and from your destination, school districts, field trips, churches. You won't be sitting on the side of the road with Amica and Porterfield transportation. For 42 years, they provided the very best and safest transportation that you can get. They're located at Arlington Avenue in Plainfield, New Jersey. You can give them a call, actually. It's 908-753-6423. That's 908-753-6423. And tell them you heard about it on the Ron Kelly Show, and you can receive your discount courtesy of Amica and Porterfield Transportation, which is Amica and Porterfield Transportation is a proud sponsor of this here program. It's like Steve Harvey, Ron Kelly got a radio show too. Okay, it's 31 minutes past the hour. So no, Stephanie Freitas. Back to the comments. No, Stephanie Freitas. I'm not saying that America does more for immigrants. I just have a problem with the open door, open border policy, and not like QAnon. And I'm not being a racist with this. I'm just being practical. I'm just being practical. Lamont Gates says the governor will be there for them as they always will, for them being the renters. And look, let me tell you. So is he going to be at the courthouse handing out checks? How much was your back rent? I got you. How much was your back rent? I got you. No, he's not going to be there, Lamont Gates. He's not going to be there. He is not going to be there. And the people are going to get put out, and they're going to have to fight for some space with the immigrants or the migrants. I don't like, and I'm going on a record, I don't like the Biden policy, the open door policy. I don't like it. And I get it, the kids are hungry, but we didn't create that situation. We didn't create that situation. Those kids are not hungry because of us. They're hungry because they're hungry, because the countries are effed up and they have no economy. I mean, come on. Come on. America is the way it is because of law. And that's what separates America from all the other banana republics. Law. Because a lot of these countries, you get pulled over, all you do is shoot the cop a 20, boom, you out. Structure. In a lot of these places, what? It's just off the chain. And then the police chief in Jamaica goes on the record and says, "Yeah, if you get caught with a gun, it's going to be 15 years." Yeah, well, you're gonna clean out. I can't think of the name of the town. You're gonna clean it out. There's gonna be nobody left if you're gonna get 15 years for gun possession. Bunny McKnight, yeah, we're already paying it back, Bunny McKnight. Bunny McKnight says that we're going to pay, not they, us are going to pay that stimulus back because watch. Stephanie Freitas got a ton of comments. I'll get to them. Stephanie Freitas says, "Aren't we all human though? Why wouldn't someone try to help another?" Okay, I tell you what, Stephanie Freitas, how many migrants are you going to take in? I'm waiting. How many migrants are you going to take in, Stephanie Freitas? And see, this is what I'm talking about, because it's somebody else's money. Just like school districts, they toss buckets of cash around because it's not theirs. The money comes from the town. And old people in their 80s have to pay school tax, and their kids have moved out and gone on with their own lives. So yes, we are all human, but America only has so much resources. It only has so much. Just like you see those shows, those movies about the future, and in the future, people are living on the moon because it's gotten chaotic on Earth. And people are living on the moon, trying to live on Mars and stuff like that. Those movies you see from the future, because the world has gone to crap. So we got to get a hold of it. But yes, we are human. And like I said, I get it. I get it. Stephanie Frater says, as far as the rent, see, I know I pressed a few buttons on people because I'm getting messages from other sites too. As far as rent goes, that's an issue here in America. Has nothing to do with immigrants. Control the rents, lower the rents, and we won't have this issue. Oh, so if we lower the rent, then we won't have any more migrants? Stephanie Freitas, is that what you're saying? That if we lower the rents, control the rents, lower the rents, we won't have an issue of migrants coming into the United States of America. Is that what you're saying? I don't think so. But love you, Stephanie Freitas, and thank you for your comment. Please keep them coming. Yeah, Stephanie Freitas says we're all human. Yes, we are human. And I understand that people, I understand that people need help. I get that. I'm not totally like, just to hell with all of them. No, I'm not like that. I just don't think that they should bring them in the way they're bringing them in, because now the Republicans are using them as they're firing shots at each other. The Republican governors are firing shots at the Democratic mayors of big cities and states by, okay, you want to take care of them? Here you go. And that's exactly what's happening. Governor Greg Abbott, here you go, Chicago. Here you go, New York. Martha's Vineyard. Martha's Vineyard was where the wealthy and Martha's Vineyard. They sent migrants to Martha's Vineyard, where the rich and powerful, the howdy little social enclave where wealthy people, the Kennedys lived there. And they sent them, and they even sent 2 plane loads. I believe it was 2 plane loads, 2 bus loads of people, and they put them out of the bus or the plane right by, not far from Vice President Harris' vice presidential mansion. They put him out. And I first heard that, I laughed. I thought it was funny. But I'm in agreement with the Republicans that we shouldn't be doing it this way. I understand, America, the beautiful, only 200 years, we're the most powerful country in the world. We're the most economically sound country in the world, the most powerful army, the biggest economy, big. Yeah, you can win $1 billion in the United States of America. You can't do that nowhere else in the world. Nowhere. So I get it. But you got to pull back a little bit, Stephanie Freitas. You got to pull back. America is not the only country accepting or allowing immigrants. Yeah, but America's the only place they want to be. You don't see people waiting at the border of Iran. You don't see people, fighting to get into, some of these other places in the Middle East. Or I tell you what, they sure ain't fighting to go back. They not fighting to go back. So people are coming to America because it's available and it's easy. It's easy. And now it's going to be ridiculous. People are going to be coming from all over the world. They're going to empty out South America and try to bring them into North America. Yeah, got to Bunny B's. Okay. Elaine Harris asked you, says she's profited much off the Blake. Yeah, I'm going to get into that. I'm going to get into the Queen, and people are 8-hour wait to see the Queen. I mean, give me a break. Stimulus checks are paid back by inflation. Maybe, that makes, I'm not one of those people who, I'm not one of those economic scholars, but yeah, I kind of sort of agree with that. Elaine Harris Askew also says, I'll never forget when they flew out homeless people to Hawaii, one-way tickets to get them out. I believe it's New York. And see, I know this stuff sounds. And Miss Askew says, I don't want Biden in again or Kamala Harris. Well, that dream might come true. Lamont Gates says, wrong. The governor created the renter issue, so they will have to fix it. Oh, give me a break, Lamont. So this was all. So I want to eat some of these dots so bad, but I can't because I'm on the radio and they get stuck to your teeth and stuff. But I'll be sounding like I'm mumbling. But I'll get to your comment in a minute, Lamont, because I got something to say to you. The governor created the renter issue, so they have to. Come on. So the governor created Governor. Well, I'm not the biggest fan of Governor Murphy. Not the biggest fan. So I mean, but the virus, the virus started the problem, not Governor Murphy. So Governor Murphy started the. So Governor Murphy started the virus, and because the virus and the people not being able to work, because they shut down everything. They shut down everything. So the virus and the people not being able to work, and lots of people were dying. I know a couple of people, friends of mine, who passed on. Peace be upon Al Elliott. He was only 41 years old, 41, 42 years old. And he passed on from the coronavirus. So wrong, Lamont. I don't think that the governor created that. You sound like Ted Cruz or one of those people, McCarthy. Elaine says they created the problem. Elaine, I don't agree with that. I wholeheartedly do not agree with that. Lamont Gates says that, Stephanie's so mad at me, she's not going to talk to me. Don't get mad, Stephanie. We're friends. I like your little cat pictures and stuff. Don't get mad at me. I'm just a radio personality. And a lot of the stuff that I talk about are things that people send me. I hear a lot of stuff. Some of it I put on Facebook. A lot of it I don't. Okay. She responded by saying she's not a country. How can she take an immigrant? Well, Lamont, if you got a place to live, you got a place to live. Can they sleep on your couch? You know what I'm saying? All right, absolutely not. No, we don't even think about that. You don't have to be a country to take somebody in. Look what's happening in Poland. When Russia bombed Ukraine. Russia started bombing Ukraine, and the people, they crossed the border, they went into Poland. And they're being helped and taken care of. I mean, the United States of America is pumping money into Poland, I'm sure, to help feed those people. But yeah, I'm going to get to the Queen. I'm going to get to the Queen. I got a couple of things I want to talk about. I want to get to the Queen, but I want to get through all of these comments. I don't want people to say that I'm not addressing their comments. So Stephanie Freitas says, Ron, make sure you read my comments with full comprehension. You are reading half of it and then making your own. No, I am not Stephanie Freitas. No, I am not. I read your whole comment and then I made my response to your comment. Just as I don't agree with you, doesn't mean that I didn't read the fine print, because I always do. It would make sense to read something or read half of something and then give, because if I read half of it, then I can only give you half the answer. So no, I did read your comment fully. I read all comments fully with full comprehension every time. Every time. Buddy McKnight says America's only beautiful to outsiders. We know the real deal. Yeah. Well. Yeah, America. Yeah. But it's not even. Yeah, America is beautiful. You can come to America and eat. You know, you can come to America and get welfare, WIC, TRA, Section 8, whatever the case may be, all the things that have destroyed the Black community. And I'll get into that in another show. I'm going to talk about that faux show. But yeah, America is beautiful because they look to America and, you know, there's jobs, there's money. You can get your hustle on in America, like many of them do, and don't pay taxes. And that's not the sale. See, I don't want to sound like I'm against those people, because I'm not. I'm not against those people. But let's say we just let 50 million migrants come into America. It's going to get kind of crowded around here. There needs to be. My problem is with the system. It's not with the people. It's with the system. Bunny McKnight. Lamont Gates is border of Iran. That would be Iraq. Why would anyone run there? You're right. I can't. Bunny McKnight, I can't eat the dots right now. I'll eat them once I'm done with the show. Dots or Mike and Ike's are my favorites. The tropical blend, Mike and Ike's. Okay. Lamont Gates says that I said government, not a governor. Where's your glasses? I don't wear glasses, Lamont Gates. Let me see what you typed. Okay, okay, all right. You abbreviated. Your abbreviation was not for governor. It was not for government. It was for governor. Okay, I stand corrected. Lamont Gates. Wow, Elaine Harris Askew says she doesn't want Biden back. You know, that's something that's going around. There's a few people who are saying that they don't want Biden back. It's very, very interesting. All right, it's 14 minutes before the hour. We got to take another quick break. Just a quick break. And we will be back with more. It's the Ron Kelly Show, everybody, and it's on blogtalkradio.com, the RonKellyShow.com, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. Yes, indeed, I am the man. What a news cycle this is. This guy has got to go. Trump has got to go. George Floyd snuffed out by this police officer who's supposed to be serving and protecting people.
It's the Ron Kelly Show.
Oh, yes, it is Ron Kelly Show, and it's on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, and blogtalkradio.com. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. It's September 15th already. So next time, October 15th, it's probably going to be a little bit chilly out there, but I'm ready. I'm wearing the same coats I wore last year. I ain't buying nothing. Sidebar. So P&B Rock, the rapper, I'd never heard of him. He wasn't like very famous. Some rappers, underground rappers, are well known, but we don't know who they are because we don't really listen to rap. But anyway, P&B Rock, the police and out there in California, where Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles is located, says that it could have been P&B Rock's girlfriend that led the killers right to him. And I'm like, well, I guess it's possible. But my point is, because a lot of us, and I'm going to talk about the feminization of Facebook. Are men being feminized by Facebook? Are men, black men in particular, being feminized by Facebook? I will talk about that on an upcoming Ron Kelly Show. Are men being feminized by Facebook? I will definitely come. That's going to be a doozy. I'm going to talk about that maybe next week or the week after. I have to look at my schedule, my planner. Okay, no, you said Gov. You what you did, Lamont Gates. Let me address this before I move on. What you did is you and Stephanie are tag teaming on me tonight. What you said was, you said Gov, G-O-V. So I wrongly assumed that you meant, because you said wrong. Here's what you sent. Wrong. The Gov created the renter issue, so they will have to fix it. Now that Gov can be easily misconstrued as either governor or government. So I was wrong, and I said, because I assumed you meant governor, like Governor Murphy. So I apologize for that, Lamont Gates. Now, Stephanie Freitas, I read all the comments fully so I can understand what the person is saying and make an educated response to whatever it is the person is saying. So yes, I do read. What I do is I go back and I respond to all the comments. I respond to after the show. I do respond in my spare time. I do respond to all the comments, but I've read every word down to the period. Well, you didn't put a period, but I read every word that you said, and I do understand what you're saying. Now, maybe I'm not responding, but I do read every word because I read the comments on the air, and I put the comments on the air. Like the comment that you made, we make sure you read my comments fully with full cover. And I read everything. Elaine Harris Askew says, I hope it catch a show when you talk about how Section 8 destroyed our community. Man, listen, the system got so many minds and mental prisons. Absolutely, Elaine Harris Askew. Absolutely. And I'm gonna get to that. And what the Democrats did or what the liberals did, whatever you want to call it. I'm definitely gonna get to that. Stephanie Freitas says, ooh, wow. Absolutely not. Just because we don't agree on something doesn't mean I'm saying that you are not reading my comments in full. I'm saying that because you are, in fact, not reading all the comments fully. When you are done with your show tonight, go back and listen to it and then compare the comments. You will see there was a misinterpretation of several comments on here, which is going to happen. Which is going to happen, Stephanie Freitas. It takes a lot to produce a radio show because you always got to be thinking 5 or 10 minutes ahead of yourself. So it takes a lot of effort. And Lamont Gates could intimate that to you. Well, okay, I'm not going to say that I'm perfect, Lamont Gates, but you see, you do your show, you have a guest, and you talk about one particular thing. So it might be a little bit easier for you to do your show than it is for me to do mine. But I talk about a lot of different things on this show, and I do the show myself. I got to think about when I want to take a break. I got to think about the sponsor. I got to think about a lot of stuff. So maybe there will be a time or two, Stephanie Freitas, that I may not read. I may not, I may have read a post or may have read a comment, just didn't respond to it properly. But I read everything everything. That's why, and I make sure I put it on the. I make sure I put it on the screen so everybody can see it. Lamont Gates says tag team here, Heart Foundation. Wrestling used to be a good deal, and I don't know what happened to it. Elaine Harris Askew says, when you're reading from several different social media sites, you're going to misread it. I get it. You're multitasking. Yeah, because I'm looking at I'm not just looking at Facebook. I'm looking at LinkedIn. I'm looking at YouTube. I'm looking at Twitter too. I'm looking at everything at the same time. So I apologize, Stephanie Freitas. I hope you remain a friend to the Ron Kelly Show. 7:53, everybody. 7 minutes before the hour. So, what is the Queen? What is the Queen? I got it right here. So people are waiting 8 hours. The line is going to Ireland almost. And people are waiting 8 hours to see the Queen. So what the heck has the Queen done? What's the Queen done? What social, what policies has the Queen put forth? Did the Queen, did the Queen step up when the racial issues were going on in England? Did the Queen step up? Did the Queen speak about George Floyd? I mean, I know that the Queen, and I get it. She was the monarch. She was the Queen for 70 years. But the Queen, there was a prime minister. See, this is what you got to understand. In England, there's a prime minister. So the Queen really doesn't do anything. It's like Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris really doesn't do anything. She's just there just in case Biden dies. Just like Biden was there just in case Obama died. The thing with Biden is he got a chance to sit in the big chair. But what has the Queen done? Does anybody think that the Queen has earned that somebody's going to wait 8 hours? I mean, where you go to their bathroom at? They must have bathrooms. I mean, it's what has the Queen done? Did the Queen make England better? Did the Queen make England better? Or did she just meet presidents and dignitaries? Because the Queen didn't push any legislation. They got the House of Commons, I believe it is, in England. And the Queen never fronted for anything. And when black people were getting roasted over there, the Queen, I didn't hear nothing from the Queen. Bunny McKnight says, in response to what I said, Bunny McKnight says, yeah, people waited for 8 hours for toilet paper too. Right. It's because the Queen don't have no power. The Queen has no power. The Queen is just there. I mean, the Queen, her father, I believe, had power, King Edward, and before him, and before him, and before him, before England started a government. And see, at the time that the Queen died, there was a lot of countries that called the Queen, like the president. Ghana, Nigeria, and a lot of countries in Africa were ruled by Great Britain. And we had to fight, the United States of America had to fight to get away from Britain. I mean, we're friends now, but there used to be British troops in America years ago. There was British troops here telling people what to do, collecting taxes until, I don't know if the story is true or not. I mean, things get embellished over the years. But we had to fight to get away from the Britons. We had to fight to get away from Great Britain. United States of America. They was over here controlling us too. Down in Africa, controlling everything down there. And some of this took place while the Queen was the Queen. I mean, she's been on the throne since she's been on the throne since the 50s. 56, 55, 56, 1952, I believe it was. She's been on the throne since. That's a long time. During the time of the Northern Ireland, when Northern Ireland was blowing everything up, trying to get away from the Great Britain. So Great Britain was a colonizer. Elaine Harris Askew says the Queen has no real powers. That's 100% correct. And Ronald McCready says, how are you doing, my brother? Says Great Britain was a colonizer, which it was. Great Britain had 50 colonies at one time at the height of their colonization of the world. They had 50 colonies. Now, all of that, this in the Queen's defense, a lot of this dropped in her lap. She became queen. She was only 25 years old. What the hell does anybody know at 25 years old? I mean, to be a queen, to run a country. But she was she was the queen. But what did she do? What did she do to deserve? And I'm not saying, you want to be loyal to the queen, and but if Biden died, there ain't gonna be no 8-hour wait. If Biden died, nobody's gonna be waiting 8 hours to. If Biden dies, nobody is gonna be waiting 8 hours to view his body. Trust me, nobody. Okay, so this is a couple minutes before 8 o'clock, everybody. I know I started a couple minutes late, but I want to thank everybody for watching, listening. Shout out to Bebra White, Bunny McLight for the thumbs up. Thank you. Shout out to Elaine Harris Askew. And all the reactions. Shout out to the people on shout out to the folks on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter for checking me out tonight. I hope you do it again next week. And Stephanie Freitas, I hope we're still friends, and I will. And hopefully I'll see you back here next Thursday for another edition of the Ron Kelly Show. So thank you, everybody, for joining me. It means a lot, even if it's only one person. Hopefully it'll be more than one. But it means a lot. Check out Lamont Gates' near-death experience. I'm not sure what day it's on, but look on his page. Lamont Gates' near-death experience. So you know what to expect if you ever get close to death. Lamont Gates has people who claim to have claimed to be near death and so light or whatever the case may be, and they are now here to tell you. Okay, one more comment. Elaine Harris, as technically speaking, I do have a couple minutes left. I just want to end the show at 8 p.m. Elaine Harris Askew says she was good to Snoop Dogg, she being the queen, when they didn't want him in the country. She said, let him in. He hasn't done anything wrong. He hasn't done wrong here or been proven guilty. I imagine it, what Elaine Harris Askew was saying. I saw her in a different light. Yeah. It's the Queen and Snoop. I mean, but what did she do for Black folks in Great Britain? All right. I'm out of here, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you back here next week for another edition of the Ron Kelly Show. Check me out during the week on the Ron Kelly Show Facebook page. Go on over there and like it. Instagram is R. Kelly Radio. On Facebook, it's the Ron Kelly Show. On LinkedIn, it's the Ron Kelly Show. On YouTube, it's the Ron Kelly Show. And on Twitter, it's the Ron Kelly Talk Radio Show. So everybody, I will see you next week. Have a good week. And remember, I always like to say it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. And then we may not have it all together, but unity, together, we can have it all. Thank you so much. And I think I'm done. Uh-oh. Okay.